Because in Nigeria, I didn't think of myself as black, because nobody thinks of themselves as black in Nigeria. We have many problems, but race is not one of them, because I guess most people in Nigeria are black. In many West African countries, we don't have race as an identifying part of us. So when I went to the US, all I had thought of myself was a Catholic and Igbo. And Nigerian, of course. But then in the US, people would just say things to me about being black, and I would think, I don't even know what that means. But most of all, it was that I started to learn that black wasn't a value-free idea. That to be called black was that people made assumptions about you. There was a professor who was surprised that I wrote the best essay in class. And I realized that he was surprised because he didn't expect a black person to write the best essay. And so for me, it was a learning process. Of course, now I very much identify as black.
In order for racism to succeed, some blacks must be successful. You need a LeBron. You need an Oprah. You need a Tyler Perry. You need a Sean Carter. You need a Beyonce Knowles. You need a Sean Puffy Combs. You need a Robert Johnson. Why do you need successful black people if you want to destroy our black people? Because in order to brainwash the other ones into believing that your failure is not due to systemic discrimination, it's due to the fact that you're not intelligent enough or you're not working hard enough. The black millionaire and billionaire class is one of white supremacy's greatest arguments to defend itself against accusations of racism. Because Oprah Winfrey is not going to indict the system. LeBron James is not going to indict the system. Tyler Perry is not going to indict the system because they made their money through the system. And because they're at the top of black society, they know how powerful white folks really are. They know how unfair the game really is. They know me being here is a privilege that white people gave me. At the end of the day, all of our black millionaires and billionaires are owned by the white power structure. Black men date out their race more than all other men put together. You know why? Racial inferiority. We don't think we're as good as the white man, so we need the white woman in order for us to feel an artificial sense of equality. It is self-hatred to the 20th power. I'm not against white women, but I support black women. And in my support of black women, I cannot condone interracial dating. But let's look at the economics. Take the romance out, take the emotion out. Let's look at the economics. Marriage is a business contract. Women on average live longer than men. So if I marry a white woman and I die prematurely, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I die prematurely, rest in peace, marvelous Marvin Hagler. That white woman is not going to take any of the wealth that I built as a black man and give it to the black community so we can help regenerate ourselves. She's going to keep that money for herself, and all that black money will go back into the hands of white society. Interracial marriage is economic betrayal.
A Texas woman has been detained and arrested for making a threat against a federal judge, and she said this. Abigail Jo Schrei allegedly made a call to D.C. District Judge Tanya Chutkin's chamber on August 5th, leaving a voicemail message with racist threats saying, "Hey, you stupid N-word, you are in our sights. We want to you," right? And so it says that that's not the first time that she's threatened somebody over Donald Trump. Of course, Donald Trump is been indicted on a whole lot of things, and this judge will oversee his election interference case. And she says, the lady that's in jail now basically says, anybody that goes after Trump, we're going to go after you. She sounds a little crazy.
How are you oppressed? In 2023, how are you oppressed? Because I got news for you, honey. If you had a skill set that was worth something to somebody, you would be the richest fucker in here. I have a lot of young black men that follow me. There's no fucking way on earth I'm going to let them believe that they have a lesser chance than anybody else if they just work their ass off. There's no fucking way. I'm not shitting on their dreams like that. I'll be damned. Looking at racism is for broke people.
I know that in South Africa, you have a government, and there is not a single African in the government.
Now, the government's policy of apartheid, that policy, the guiding principle of this policy is to help the non-whites in South Africa to self-realization in their own territories and within their own communities so that they can govern themselves.
That's the policy that aggressors use.
You know who are the aggressors? It's the African National Congress in Africa. They are the aggressors. If the Africans in Africa would stop being so militant and would rather get down and help and build up South Africa and build up Africa, the problem would cease almost immediately.
Okay, let me ask you this thing. How can they help if you get 9 million Africans and 3 million Europeans, and you get only 9 Europeans representing the interests of these Africans? I mean, how can 9 Englishmen or 9 Europeans represent 9 million Africans? How can they know their problems and their ideas? Everybody knows that Africa is for Africans. And when we think of Africans, we think of blacks.